everyone, Karen here, and today I'm revisiting Class 10 from Craftaganza at home. Now today I will be using the large stencil, and I will be using all the dies that were in Class 10. Now let's go over the paper, because I do have everything cut out. I have a 5x7 card base, so of course that is 10 by 7, scored at 5. And this is an old hunky-dory set that came out several years ago. I still had a piece left. I figured I would use that. I have a black 6 3/4 by 4 3/4, which is going to go on top here. And then on top of that, I have a 6 1/2 by 4 1/2, which will be on top of here. Now, this purple lilac Centura pearl paper, I am going to emboss using the stencil, and we'll get to that in a second. The inside of the card, I am going to be using a 3 1/4 by 2 1/4, and this is where I'm going to stamp my message. I have a 3 1/2 by 2 3/4, which is going to go on top of this black, and the black is 3 by 5 1/2. So all this will be stacked on the inside. Now, when I cut this die out, you'll see that I have taped the two together. Now, when you tape these two together and you cut it out, you end up with the heart frame and a heart for the inside. I'm going to use both these pieces in the card, and I cut out 3 of these. And this paper is the black pearl that came out, maybe a few months back. Alright, and I also do have the love that I cut out in matte gold. So let's get started putting this together by talking about how we're going to emboss a stencil. So I'm going to start with, let me move this over here, my clear plate, my plastic shim. I am then going to bring in my metal shim, my embossing mat, and let me grab the purple lilac Centura pearl paper. And now I'm going to decide where I want to emboss. Do I want the bigger hearts or do I want the smaller hearts? I think I want the smaller hearts. So I'm going to emboss the top here. And just to keep it down, I'm going to tape this. So I'm going to line this up the way I want it. And I'm thinking about here. So I want the hearts to be all the way on the top. And I'm going to put a little piece of tape here, one over here, and one over here for good measure. Now I will take my other clear plate, put this on top, and I will run this through my machine. Alright, so let's look and see what we have. Let's pull up the stencil, and now you can see we've embossed those hearts really nicely into that paper. So look at the stencils in your stash. You can always emboss a stencil. Alright, so let's put this to the side. Let's pull these out here. So now I'm going to take the 6 1/2 by 4 1/2 that we embossed, and I'm going to glue it on to this 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. Now you want to make sure you have plenty of glue on the areas that are not embossed, so you have plenty of real estate to glue the two pieces together. Right, and this will go in the middle like this. Just like that. Alright, so now I want to bring in the 3 hearts. And these are the frames that I have from cutting out the two pieces that were together. Remember I said you get the big heart in the center, which I'm going to use in the inside of the card, and you have the frame. So 2 of these are just like they were when they were cut, but I took one and I put a slit in it. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to, let me make sure I'm doing this right. I want to come in from the top, and I want to go over the top of the bottom and go under the top. So I put it in this way. Let me do it again. I'm going to slide it through the hole and lay it like this. Then I'm going to take the other one. So now this one is going to sit on top of this one. So I want this one to be on the bottom. So I'm going to go down through the middle than on the bottom. So doing that, now they're linked. And I did it this way because I want to make sure that when I put them together like this, my little seam where I cut it is going to end up on the bottom. So you just want to make sure that that is on the bottom, and that way the rest of this will all sit here like this. And that way we can hide it like that. So I am going to take a little dab of glue right here, just so I can get this all lined up. I want to make sure that my seam is going to be underneath, and I'm just going to pick a spot to make sure this covers the whole front of the card to put my glue. So about here where the gold is would be great. So I'm going to lay this like this. Before this dries, let me make sure I'm all good here. That will be underneath. That looks good. So now I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to glue down my seam. So I have glue on the back. Let me bring this up here. So I put glue across here. So this piece will be in the back like that. This piece will come this way. Now I can just glue down this whole piece. Just put glue all the way around. Make sure I get some up here. Dab it out a little bit so it doesn't ooze out on me. Now I am going to put the love on the bottom here. So I need to make sure that this is going to leave room for the love. And this will just get centered here in the middle. And down, like that. Now this love will get put down on the bottom. Down here like this. There we go. There we are. Nice and easy. Now this will get glued to the front here. And just use your favorite glue. And this will get centered. Like that. Here we go. Alright, for now for the inside of the card, because this says love, you really could make this any kind of card you want. It could be happy birthday, it could be an anniversary card, it could be a thank you card. So today I chose to make it indeed a thank you card. So I have thank you for being such a dear friend. So I am going to start by stamping the 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. I'm going to put this down on my stamping platform. I am going to put this down here in the middle. I'm going to pick that up. I am going to stamp this with some quick dry black ink. I will stamp it one more time. There we go, that looks good. Put that to the side. Alright, so this was the jet black quick dry ink. Alright, so for the inside, this was the 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. this one, which was still from the Black Pearl, the same paper I cut these hearts out of. This was the 3.5 by 2 3/4. This will get glued on top of here. But to me, I think this needs a little something, so I'm going to put some black ink around the outside of this. Changed my mind. I'm not going to use the black. I'm going to use the bronze pigment ink. Because of the gold that's in here, I just want to bring out that gold a little bit more. So I'm just going to dab gold around the outside here. Just like that. And just that little bit does give it just a little bit more of a finish. Now if you wanted to, and you think, well, I can't see that very well, you can make it thicker by angling the paper flatter against the ink pad, and that will give you a thicker line. There we go, like that. That just gives it a little bit more of a finish. So let's glue this on. This will go in the center, just like that. So now this, which is the 3.5 by 2 3/4, is going to go on here. Now what I want to do is I want to make the top, the bottom, and the right-hand side the same spacing, because what I'm going to do is the 3 hearts that I cut out and put on the front, the part that I cut out, I'm going to put on the inside of the card. Now what I want to do is I'm thinking I wanted to line it up something along this lines, like this. So I'm going to glue this part in, because I know where this is going to go exactly. So I will line this up to where the top, the right-hand side, and the bottom are all the same. Just like that. Before I glue this all in, I'm going to lay this out and make sure I have everything the way I want it. Because what I want the space on this side of the heart and this over here to match. I'm just going to put that down there to hold it still. And move this over here. Figure out exactly where I want to put this. I am thinking like this. Alright, so I'm going to glue these 3 hearts together. That. There's one. Make sure these are straight. And we'll put, let's see. Do I want to go like that? Nope, I definitely want to go in the back. So we'll put glue across here. And we will line this one up so they are the same. Like that. Now we will lay this down. That looks about right. I'll put glue on the inside here. That looks about right. So what I'm looking at here, I'm looking at this side here, this side over here, the top and the bottom. And I'm just going to press that there. Pick this up. So now I can glue this whole thing down in the center. Now this inside is very fancy, and this absolutely could also be the front of a card. If you didn't want to put something this elaborate on the inside of your card, this absolutely, on a mat underneath it, could be the front of another card. There we go. So there you have it. We embossed the stencil, put it on a mat. We die cut the hearts that came in the set to make the frame. And then we put the hearts that cut out of the middle on the inside. But thank you for being such a dear friend. So I hope you enjoyed this look at class number 10. And if you liked it, please consider subscribing to my channel. And until next time, stay crafty.